Good morning, everyone. Something that I omitted to do last week on Wednesday, and that was to mention that it was the 25th of January, which means less than 11 months to go until Christmas. So you better start your shopping early. Come on, really. If we're just trying to get over Christmas, and already they're bombarding us with Easter eggs. We haven't even got to Lent and they're already telling us to eat chocolate. Anyway. This is how commercialization seems to push us. So, let's have a look at the readings today. The first reading is from the letter to the Hebrews, and it gives us a list of some of the men who gave their lives for their faith. You could say they were martyrs of the Old Testament. They were talking about people of the Old Testament, obviously. So even before Christ came, there were people who had enough conviction to actually give their lives for God, for what they believed in. And I think it's admirable, to say the least. If you read the passage of Scripture, some of them went in a pretty gruesome way. Anyway, so moving on to the Gospel, it is Mark's Gospel, chapter 5, verses 1 to 20. And this that time when Jesus was out, and there was this man who was possessed by a whole lot of demons, who came out and pleaded with Jesus to be merciful to the demons, the unclean spirits as they were. And so Jesus took those unclean spirits and drove them into this whole herd of pigs. And the pigs then went off and threw themselves off a cliff or drowned, or whichever version you look at. But they died. Now, I ask the question, does that mean that unclean spirits can be killed by the death of the living being? Because that's quite a dangerous sort of thing to think about. Well, because some people might say, well, I'm possessed, therefore, taking my life will actually... And that's not necessarily the case, because spirits are not dependent on physical. The spirits exist beyond and apart from the physical. They might come into a physical being in order to manifest themselves or to show their presence, but they do live separately. So the challenge then is for us to be just aware of it, and make sure that we stay clear from those kind of influences that could possibly open ourselves up to evil spirits having some sort of effect on us. People who are identified by the bishops and so forth are out there, particularly priests who are specially trained to come and exorcise and drive out demons. We mustn't fiddle around with these things. It's not clever. You have a safe and a beautiful day, and we'll see you again. God bless. Bye-bye.